I am a true prophetic dreamer. Prophetic dreamers dream in all sense. I am a person who dreams every night. Specifically, if you remember your dreams, there is a message there.
Really?
Yeah. A lot of things that happen in our lives are because we don't listen. I told you to get out that relationship a long time ago. I love him. I'ma stay. 10 years, I don't want to give up. Now we're fighting. Fighting? This is Luvie. I'm too cute to fight. What are you talking about? What is it that you need to take control of in your life? What is it that you feel is big or massive that you're not addressing?
Welcome back to the Black Summit. I'm Brooks.
And I'm Hendrix. And today we have a lovely, dear friend, a special guest, Luvie.
Yes.
That we go way back. And we're going to let her introduce herself and let you know, run it down what all encompass her, this lovely creature that we have beholding us today on the Black Summit podcast.
All of that?
Run it down for all of that and then some.
Hey, y'all. My name is Luvie Smith, affectionately called They Call Me Love. I do have a podcast currently. We are the 2024 nominated Best Radio Show in Charleston right now for They Call Me Love. It airs on Ohm Radio. Yes. Yes. Ohm Radio. You can catch it 96.3 FM on Thursdays at Thursdays at 9 and Sundays at 5 p.m. And I am all about all things media, but media goes into my business, which is spiritual life coaching. That is what I do. I want to make sure that I pull all of those gifts and talents that are in you guys out so that you can walk in your purpose, because everybody has purpose. And that's where our gifts and talents lies, but that's where our abundance is as well. So I try to help people, find that purpose there.
Yeah, beautiful, beautiful. And today she's going to help us find a purpose and help our listeners and our viewers find some purpose in our mediocre lives.
Not at all mediocre. Okay, at all.
Yeah, but even the poise and the voice for media, she encompasses all that.
Yeah,
she does. I'm gonna give a little backstory.
Okay.
When I met Luvie, actually, it was on my birthday, and just so happened she's here doing the podcast on my birthday.
Happy birthday.
Because we all went to film school, Trident Technical College, one of the best film and media schools on the Southeast Coast.
It is,
just say that,
is.
real talk. So, and I remember she was ahead of the game and on time with her and one of her co-hosts, and they were talking about podcasts, and I had no idea what a podcast was. This was like, oh man,
this was pre everything.
Yeah, actually, this was like maybe 2013.
Yeah,
it's before that, even before that.
Well, even before that,
yeah.
Because when we met in like 13 or 14, right? So you've been doing it for a minute, way before he or I even came in the game, you know what I mean? But I remember her explaining to me at the time in the studio, and I'm a film guy, and I'm trying to grasp what is she talking about. So I'm thinking it is talking about just going on the radio.
That's what I thought too.
Yeah, but she was like, no, we're going to record. I was like, record? What is a skit? It's like, man, get your ass up the studio. But yeah, she was trying to explain to me, and I had no idea concept what a podcast was. So she was definitely there in the beginning stages, guys.
That's true.
Yeah, she's seasoned. She's is it safe to call you an OG in the game?
I'm an OG in the game.
She's an OG in the, so how many years have you been doing this?
Man, I mean, having to go all the way back, I mean, it really started because it was an assignment here at Trident Tech. I am a radio production major. So that's where radio and TV. So that's where everything came from. Y'all were in the film and doing all that stuff. And I was in there recording, And so it started out as a project. Shout out to Marcia Warnock. I love her. She's the one who... She taught me almost everything.
She was one of the instructors?
Yeah, she was my professor then, and she taught me everything that has to do with NPR and radio. And she was like, do an assignment. And the assignment I came up with was to have my own radio show.
Wow.
And so I did it on my own at first. And then I was like, I need somebody else in here with me because it is weird. For those of y'all who are trying to start a podcast, it's weird to sit behind a mic and be alone in a studio because you're talking to the mic.
And trying to stay engaging and everything.
Exactly. Yeah. So I added in a co-host, and that show was called Lovie's Lounge.
Right.
And I did get an A on that project.
That I remember. I remember that. Yes. Lovie's Lounge.
We went to, what's the thing at the end where we have to show everything?
The exit portfolio.
The exit portfolio. I did it there and everything like that. And I just decided to keep going.
Right.
And it became a thing. I probably have interviewed every local rapper, singer, entrepreneur that you could ever think about. Truly. And that's kind of how I got my name in Charleston. And then I was like, things changed a little bit and you have to change with your seasons, right? Everything happens for seasons and reasons.
Yeah.
And so as the seasons change, you should also change. So I had to then change it up a little bit, which is now introducing They Call Me Love.
Yeah, that's so profound. I totally agree with you because it's so many different things I've been into, and then you've
had a lot of seasons.
Quite a few. Happy
birthday. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. But you're right. I have had quite a few seasons. But I think you evolve and you learn. And sometimes you may stay within that same path or you change paths. And I don't think nothing's wrong with that.
No, you have to evolve. If you're not evolving and changing, then you're staying stagnant. So
I agree with that saying Muhammad Ali says, if a man thinks the same as 20 years old, then he thinks the same as 40, you've wasted 20 years of your life.
Sure did.
So I believe, don't kill me if Muhammad, I know he said something like that.
It was like that. We got it. It was like that.
Yeah, y'all got the gist. Y'all got the gist. Yeah. Y'all got the gist.
Well, I think it's interesting to see you take this kind of career path because, not a lot of people would, right? With that being said, like, who inspired you? Because a lot of people are like, oh yeah, Barbara Walters, maybe Oprah, maybe this person or that person. Who kind of inspired you to get into something like this?
For sure, my mother. Shout out to Patrice Smith. My mom has been in radio and TV since before I was even born. She actually started the Breakfast Club on Z93. Before there was a Baby J, before there was all of that.
And all that?
That was her thing. And they started it out with Big Mac, rest in peace, who was her co-host. And then she, when I was like maybe in high school, she then went to News Channel 4 as the morning news anchor. And she stayed there until retirement. So just watching her, to be completely honest, just watching what she did, I was like, oh, I think I can do that. And I truly want to be just like my mom when I grow up. I say that every show. Awesome. I'm very serious when I say that. There are still goals that I have not hit, that she has accomplished. So I will forever continue to roll and to make things happen. But it truly came from mom, and then coming to Trident and sitting under Marcia, who was in NPR, it just sparked it even more, shout out to Randy and Glenn specifically. Those were the ones who kind of pushed me into radio and stuff like that. But shout out to moms, man. She is the reason.
Yeah, I knew who your mom was before I knew who you were.
It's very embarrassing.
From hearing on the radio and seeing her way before I even came into, like she said, her mom was doing it for a while. Before I even came to film school, I used to see her mom on the radio. I mean, hear her on the radio. Then I saw her on Channel 4.
It's quite embarrassing, which is why you have to make your own name for yourself.
Oh, really? You think so?
Growing up, I got it bad. I was teased very bad. Oh, you're the radio lady's daughter. You're the TV lady's daughter. You think you all that. You're rich. You're this. And I'm like, you don't know the markets down here.
That is true.
Okay. You don't. You're not far from rich. Okay. But, that's not something that I asked for. That was my mom. I look at her as mom. I didn't look at her as the radio lady or the TV lady. And I got it really bad. And it's interesting. As I graduated, I was thinking like, okay, for her being my mom, I'm thinking, okay, maybe I'll have a little help. Maybe somebody will give me a job or an internship or whatever. Turns out it was the exact opposite. They were like, oh, you're her daughter. You think that you know things and you're not going to come in here and work. And they made assumptions on me without even knowing me or, looking at the resume to see that I had built the podcast already. I've done all of these things. And it was sad because I was like, dang, what's going on? I thought the same people that I grew up with are not going to support me.
Right.
And that's real. Well, you're not going to get the support that you want all the time. And that was a great lesson in life for me. And it taught me to do it on my own, which then is now my brand, and doing what I do. And I make my own money. And the check goes to They Call Me Love. So I don't have to...
I feel you, man. I think a little nepotism don't hurt. I mean, because the others do it all the time. You know what I mean? I don't think nothing wrong with a little bit of nepotism. If you had a little bit, I'd have been kudos. Because you still got to work regardless.
You got to work.
You still got to do the work.
This is a hard thing out
Yeah.
here. This is not easy. People are like, oh, it's just a radio. You turn on the mic. Well, first of all, you got to even know what you're talking about, you know, first. Then you have to capture the audience's attention and keep their attention. And that's not as easy as people think, you know, because if you're not talking about something they're interested in, what do?
Yeah.
Boop, switch, change the channel. You know, we really have about 30 seconds of people's time. 10 seconds in music land, to be completely, you know, if you want to be an artist, 10 seconds, producers will listen to it. And if you don't catch me in the first 10 seconds, it is what it is.
Yeah.
So, you know, you got to work hard and learn the craft. Go to school, guys. You know, you can learn on your own, but I would definitely say come holler at Trident Tech. I mean, we have literally $1 million worth of equipment, you know, that's in here that is available. And that's what I did. I took advantage of the fact that I had this degree and went in here and used this equipment. I still come in here. And shout out to Randy. He's like, dude, you're a graduate. Come in here and use this equipment. And that's exactly what I did. And then you buy your own equipment.
Exactly. And you buy your own equipment. You're 100% right. And I know with radio too, the one thing I heard, I can't say I learned because I don't do radio. They said you don't want no dead space.
Yeah, no dead air.
You know dead air. You got to keep talking.
You have to keep talking.
Even if your mouth going dry, take a sip of water, keep going. It got to be engaging.
For sure.
Got to be engaging.
Because you never know if they're going to tune in at that time that you're quiet. What if they just so happen to turn on the radio or happen to tune in to your live when you're sitting there quiet? Well, you got a couple of seconds until you better say something, you know, or what I'm going to do, change the channel.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
It is what it is.
It is what it is. I want to, if you don't mind, I want to dive into your podcast a little bit.
Let's talk about it.
You know, spiritual life coach. And what stuck out to me, you mentioned about dreams.
Yes.
You said, correct me if I'm wrong, if you remember it, it's a message. And if you don't remember it, did you say something about
specifically, if you remember your dreams, there is a message there.
Really?
Yeah. Everybody dreams every night, even if you don't remember it. There are a lot of things that you can do to make sure that you do remember your dreams. There's things literally just as watching what you're doing. Some people are smoking, drinking, you know, falling asleep high, you know, or falling asleep with the TV on, or, you know, and things like that. All of those things are called distractions. And when you go to sleep, you're supposed to be peaceful.
Right.
Well, you can't really be peaceful if in the background you still got the, you know, Fast and Furious movie that's playing in the background, right? I mean, because even though you may be calm at the moment, or you think, your spirit is still moving. It doesn't sleep, right? So you can still feel that energy. But if you wake up in the morning and you remember that dream, I always urge everyone to keep a dream journal beside your bed. And literally as soon as you wake up, I mean, immediately, don't even touch anything. You pick up that pen and start writing what your dream is. Even if you have to do it on your phone, like do a voice note or whatever it is, because the longer you take to write it down, the more the dream goes away. So by the time you get to like midday, you would have forgotten half of the dream. And if you were to write it down and you go back and look at it, you'll realize, dang, I don't even remember writing that part, because there were certain things that'll stick out. But dreams are the way the Most High speaks to you. Because of the fact that in the waking day, we're busy. We're moving around. We're hustling and bustling. We're not necessarily being calm enough to hear something from the Most High. Some people are listening. Some people aren't. And the message can be so loud or small as something like, today you just need to turn left. But you're so busy looking over here, listening to the music, that you heard, man, go left. But you're like, nah, that's okay. I'm going to just go right anyway. But you heard go left now.
Yeah.
That was the message, right? That was supposed to that could have saved you from an accident. That could have put you in the position to meet somebody that you were supposed to, or whatever, but you don't listen. Sometimes those come in dreams as well. So it just kind of depends. You know, what kind of dreamer you are, because we have things like straight dreamers. Straight dreamers are people who dream everything that they dream comes true the way it was in the dream.
Oh, okay.
Just like how it was.
I was gonna ask about that.
And then you have prophetic dreams. Prophetic dreams are most likely coming from the Most High, that have a lot of symbolism in it. Symbolism are all throughout your dreams, and which is really important to write them down, because things aren't always literal. You know, so we'll be like, oh, I got fired from my job. Right, in the dream, right? Well, that doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to get fired from the job. It really actually is representing anxiety, something that you're fearing, right? Maybe there's something at the job that you know you're not doing right, which could then end up with you losing that job, right? So it comes out in your spirit, in your dream life. You know, the anxiety, like people chasing you in your dreams, or, you know, you're yelling and you can't hear anything. You ever do like, and there's nothing coming out, like that type of thing. All of those go back to anxiety and things that you need to release or address in your waking life so that you can have a peaceful sleep. So it's about paying attention.
Yeah.
Really.
I definitely have had in the past dreams of some I think one time it might have been some gorillas. Which is, it's like they can't get, but it's like I can't run fast. Every time it's like, it seemed like anytime I have a dream about me running from something, it's like I can't never run that fast. I don't know why. It's like I can't never
It's
really
because
run
it's
that
catching
fast.
up to you. Whatever it is that's running after you, it's about to catch up with you. So it could be represented as gorillas in your dream, but that could really be your mortgage payment. That could be the relationship that you have that you know you need to end, like the stress or anxiety that you're going through at school. All of these things chasing you, right? But so God speaks to you all differently. So where he may use gorillas, he may use a horse for me, or whatever is relevant, right? So if you think about a gorilla, gorillas are big, right? Huge. They can take control and everything like that. So what is it that you need to take control of in your life? What is it that you feel is big or massive that you're not addressing? So then you go write it down. What are some of these things that I need to look at? You know, pay attention. It's a lot of who are you hanging around? Yeah. Too. That could be other people's energy that's around you that you don't even realize that you're receiving, you know?
Yeah, I never thought of it that way. Have you ever had a dream literally and it came to fruition like how you dreamt?
So you would categorize yourself as like a straight dreamer?
I am.
Or is it like,
I am a true prophetic dreamer. Prophetic dreamers dream in all sense. They have straight dreams. They have prophetic dreams. I have warfare dreams. I'm a person who dreams every night.
Oh yeah,
every single.
And you remember?
I do.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes I don't remember. Sometimes I don't even recall dreaming. But like you said, people say you always dream, and it's in REM, right?
Yeah.
And the REM, you know REM. Yeah. Rapid eye movement. So but yeah, sometimes I don't remember it, and some dreams I actually do remember, and I wonder. But I had a dream in the past that actually came actually. And actually, it was a dream with a person we had on the podcast
and
one time. So
that's also showing you what's coming, right? That not only are you going to be interacting with that person, but to continue with your podcast, right? It's showing you that don't stop because you have some other things that are coming.
No. That dream was.
Well, I don't know. You got to give me some more background, give me some symbols, but you know.
That dream was something totally.
Oh, okay.
It was of course it was years ago, okay. And like this was like way before I came to film school. So maybe it was back in like maybe like 2010 or 2011.
That's that foreshadowing.
Like that. Yeah, so it was a long time ago, and sure enough, it happened, but not like in the dream. But the gist of it, that did actually. I was like, wow, I said, damn, you know, I dreamed of this. You know what I'm saying?
Better write them things down. Yeah.
Have you ever Can you give us an example of one of your dreams that you had that came true?
Yeah.
Or did you dream about us? And when you didn't, I just Dang, you got to think about that?
I do. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I would have to go back in my dream journal. I do actually need to go back and see. Because I kind of I feel like maybe you would have been in my dream at one point.
Me?
Well, both of you, actually.
Oh, okay.
One dream that I had, and this was in the beginning when I'm not saying the beginning. I've been dreaming since I was 5. That's probably the earliest dream that I remember. But truthfully, I didn't start taking it seriously until I got into my 30s and was like, what is really happening? Like, because I'm like found out that this doesn't happen to everybody, that everybody doesn't dream. So I was, me and my friend were going to Atlanta to visit another friend. And I had the dream the night before. What I dreamed is that my friend, a fair-skinned woman, and another woman were standing in front of a church and at the pulpit, and the lady passes out. Y'all ever know? Y'all see people lay hands before, and you know they fall out. Right. So that was the dream, and the person who fell out was the fair skinned lady. So I'm thinking that this is my friend's house we're going to, who also is a fair skinned female. Well, it turns out that it was actually my friend's cousin that was at the front of the church. We went to the church. So that's next day we went to the church. I didn't know we was going to this church. It happens to be William Murphy's church, which is a very mega church that's in Atlanta. So we went to the church. When I walked through those doors, I almost freaked out because I was like, "Oh crap! This is the church that I dreamed of, right?"
So you felt it once you walked in.
As soon as I walked in, I knew where I was.
Okay.
I was like, oh, "Okay, all right." So then I'm like, "Okay, well, who's gonna fall out?" Because I'm like, "Well, ain't nobody with me to fall out." But then I look, my friend's cousin was with us. She also just happened to be fair skinned. Now remember, I thought it was my other friend who was fair skinned. She didn't go to church with us that day. The cousin did, but remember, I didn't know. I just saw a fair skinned woman. I didn't see. I just assumed. At the end of the church, she goes up and gives her life to Christ, and she passes out.
Oh, wow.
She's on the floor. And I was like, I thought it was going to be the other friend. Go back home or to the friend's house that night. She gets drunk and she's on the floor.
Oh, wow.
So it turns out I really was seeing her. But it turned out it just happened in two different places. You know what I'm saying? That I didn't realize it was going to be my friend's cousin that was going to get saved. I saw somebody getting saved at the church. I knew that. I saw somebody passing out. I saw that. All that happened. It just was the cousin. It just wasn't my friend.
Yeah.
So I didn't know what to do with that.
Yeah.
What do you do with that?
Yeah. Yeah.
I still don't know.
Right.
What it was showing me, though, was it was proving to me, one, you are a seer. You can see. Two, you are a dreamer. It's giving me confirmation. God is giving me. Because you have to ask for these things. You'll be like, you're questioning what's going on. Why are these coincidences? Why do I see this? Why do I dream this? Well, just ask. God, what's happening? Lord, please, can you show me what's happening? And he showed me that dream the next day. And I'm like, well, okay. Well, it happened multiple times after that. So I could understand, oh, no, you can see this and you need to write these things down. Don't question what I show you. Just trust, really.
Yeah.
Because the girl wasn't going to go to church. What I know now, I could have probably persuaded her to be like, no, you do need to come to church with us because this is going to be a good thing for you. It happened the way it happened, but it was just interesting that it just wasn't the same girl, that it just wasn't like that. But that was the first one where I was like, hold on, something's weird.
Yeah.
I've dreamed about jobs, that I was getting a brand new job. And I saw the building. It was like a 10-story building, and I was working on the third floor. And I can see, it's weird how you see, I see things as like a movie. So I'm watching myself go in this building, go up to the third floor. It turns out it's a call center and all this stuff is happening. A year later, I'm a manager in a call center. So it just kind of shows you things that are coming. But if you didn't write it down, you would never, go back to think.
Right. Remember. Yeah, I get what you're saying. I remember when I was in high school, it was my health teacher. I remember she made a statement saying, definitely was high school. She was saying that people dream in black and white. And I was like, I dream in color.
Yeah, I definitely do.
Because she was saying that, you dream in black and white. And she was saying that, I don't know who it was a certain scientist. Well, he was dreaming in color because he was on opioids. And I was like, what are you talking about? My dreams are in color. I can see certain colors and certain things. It's not black and white, So you dream in color as well?
I do. I also dream in black and white. I also dream fuzzy like a TV.
Yeah.
When it's a prophetic dream and it's coming from God, it's very, very bright, very, very vivid, the colors. And I remember every single detail. When it's a message for me, that's something that's coming that maybe I have prayed for an answer for, sometimes it comes fuzzy. He doesn't show me everything, but I'll feel what's coming, if that makes sense. For instance, like I had liked this guy and he came in my dream and I'm like, what the heck is I doing in my dream? Like, okay, he don't know that I like him like that.
And for you.
Well, energy works like that. Turns out he also was dreaming of me.
Oh, wow.
That's how energy works. Like if you dream of somebody, 9 times out of 10, you'll probably run into them days or weeks later, or they'll contact you. It's also a message for you to even look out for them as well. There could be something wrong and that you need to pray for them or you need to check on them and see what's wrong. A lot of people just like, oh, you just was in my dream.
Yeah, I've
And
heard
just,
that a lot.
just ignore.
Not a lot, but I have heard that in the past. Yeah, he was in my dream. Yeah.
Something I heard somebody was saying, if you wake up in the middle of the night, somebody was dreaming about you. Have you ever heard of that?
Yes, I have. And it also is a message from God. If you wake up in the middle of the night and you were dreaming, especially if it's 3 a.m., you need to start praying. There's a message that you have not received. And that goes back to how he gives us the dreams, because in the daytime, he can't get to you. You're not listening. You may have heard it, but you didn't take it as if that was the Most High. You just thought, oh, that's just me saying go left. Really, it was God telling you, you need to go left. When things repeat as well for you, like you ever just get that sense of like, I need to go to McDonald's. I don't know why I need to go to McDonald's, but I need to go to McDonald's. And then 2 days later, dang, I need to go to McDonald's. I don't know why I need to go to McDonald's. And then it keeps coming to you. There's a message. You need to go to McDonald's. There's a reason why you need to go there. Like you could be meeting your husband, your wife, or maybe there's somebody there you're supposed to save. Who knows? But repetitive things, that's a message.
That you I guess what they say, you feel it in your spirit or inside you. Because I used to have a Lexus, right?
No, Kanana, you had all the rides. No. Listen, everybody know about Kanana Nana. He definitely comes through with the rides. Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
I used to have this Lexus, right? And so I had the car. Of course, I bought it used. I paid cash for it. And I'll be riding around in the car, and I'm driving. All of a sudden, it's like a voice in my head that say, "What if you don't have this car this long?" And it said that, right? So I just kept on, going about my, and then it maybe about some weeks later, and it said, again, what if you don't have this car this long? It just all of a sudden, just but still, I was still good. Then maybe about after a couple of months later, after I wasn't thinking about it, then it said to me again. Then it said, you won't have this car this long, like that. And then, but around December, right? I'm driving. So a friend of mine was going to do this, the bike clubs. So he wanted me to do some video for it. Now, I usually have a sling bag. So I said, okay, cool. I left the house. And then I said, oh, I ain't got my bag. So I went back to the house to get my bag. And when I got to the light, I'm on the phone talking. I'm talking to a partner of mine. And I'm like, man, I look in the rearview mirror, and all of a sudden I saw this lights coming up. And I said, man, this dude there driving so fast, look like he ain't gonna stop. As soon as I start, boom, he ran into the back of me and totaled the car, right? And so I said, okay, that's what that was, right? But the thing is, I was already prepared because I knew I wasn't gonna have that car that long.
Yes.
And I didn't even have the car a year. I bought it that year, and it total loss. And I remember it was December because the guy bought gifts. I think he was texting, and he hit my car. Boom! My head hit the quarter panel, but I was okay. I still had a slight hematome when you get a little slight swelling.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But I was fine. And the way he hit me, his wheel turned inward, and the car kept going up to the bridge and finally, all you saw was sparks. And at first I said, man, is he hitting the run? Is he still going? And I was sitting there just looking like, dude, you know what I'm saying? But it sparked and the axle bent, and someone was coming off the interstate. They was going to work at Boeing. And he was like, yo, you all right? And then he was like, yo, you all right? And I was like, yeah, I got the car. He's like, yeah, I already called the police. And then just so happened at the gas station down the road, I knew this gentleman by the name of Reverend Brown. Mike Brown, who ran for city council, his daddy, me and his dad used to work. He just happened to be at the gas station, and he come rolling up. He said, man, I was way down there pumping gas, and I heard boom real loud. And so I got my stuff, and he gave me a ride back to my house, But I knew because it already spoke to me. My mom was like, yeah, his spirits spoke to you. The Most High spoke to your spirit. Yeah.
He does it so that you don't get scared.
Yeah.
Right? Because he's not going to say, oh, you're going to get in an accident and da-da-da-da-da on
right?
Because you would have been anxious, right? Now you're looking always for an accident or truly almost manifesting that, to happen as well. Yeah. Instead, it was really to prepare you.
It was
for you to be like, you really should have started looking for a car.
Yeah, and I because it happened like about 3 or 4 times, and I would still go on because you try not to be fearful, but it was I was at, as they say, I was at peace. I was at ease. So, like she said, I was prepared. I just didn't know what was going to happen. I didn't know it was going to happen like that, but I was prepared for what was to happen, and then that would happen.
In the future, if you ever hear stuff like that, ask, why? What am I preparing for?
That's what I didn't do.
Say if they're saying, well, you're not going to have this car, why? What do I need to prepare for? Can you please tell me what it is I need to prepare for? Yeah. It's all about asking. We just stop asking things for some reason.
And who knows? Maybe I might have had a dream. I don't know.
And it's for real. You may have had a dream, or that could have been next to show you that that's what was going to happen as well.
Or I could have got a feeling of an accident is going to take place. And but then at the same, like you said too, that might have made me be like, oh my, you know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Or could have said accident, but fear not. You know what I'm saying? You're in good hands or whatever.
Because we fear not anyway.
Yeah. So
we're not supposed to walk in fear.
Exactly.
At all.
So that's why I was still out driving. I wasn't worried about anything or whatever. But if you saw that car, I had the pictures. They said, man, look like that dude hit you, backed up, then hit you again. And then, that's how it looked. It destroyed the whole and the people just hitting me up, wishing me happy birthday. But destroy. You're going to go through that all day, Yes. But the way they say it looked like, if you saw it, like it almost sideswiped. He hit the back, but tore off the front bumper. So it's like, if he hit you in the back right here, then smashed the whole side. Look, the way it literally looked like he hit me, boom, backed up, and hit it again, boom, then backed up and hit it one last time and kept going. That's how the impact looked. But he hit it, sideswiped it, and he kept on going.
Thank you for divine protection.
Yeah. Definitely that. For sure. Definitely that.
So you said something, you were like, ask why.
Or ask for clarity. God, can you help me understand what you're saying to me?
Yeah. And, I think that's interesting because, I think a lot of people don't really check in with what's going on or things that they hear about. Do you believe in that, checking in with yourself and stuff like that?
You need to check in with yourself every day. Am I hearing this right? Is this me or is this God? Is this my flesh or is this what the Most High wants me to do? Because a lot of people right now are leading with what they want. And we need to lead with what He wants us to do. Because at the end of the day, He gives us the desires of our heart. So if He's going to give us the desires of our heart, that means anything that we do according to Him will always work and be better than what we want. Right? So check in. Is this my flesh? Am I just jealous right now? Is this my attitude that's going? Things like that. Check in yourself.
I ain't got a lot of time about my flesh. I know.
I feel like we're in such a world where it's just we're so distracted, and so it's almost it's hard to really assess where we're at from day to day. I mean, with social media and all these different things that people are partaking in and dealing with. I mean, just the life to life thing, the day to day. So I think it is kind of tough for a lot of people to sort of check in with themselves.
Yeah.
You got to be selfish. You really need to take the time and be quiet. That's another thing. People are just talk.
I
need to have on this music. I need to have on a podcast. I need to have on this. Gosh. Sometimes you really just need to sit in silence.
I'm definitely one of those people where I feel like if something's not in the background, I can't focus in a way.
I get like that too. I am kind of like
I'm always
that too.
I'm always got my earpods in or something or something going on.
I agree.
With me, I'll cut the TV on, but for me, even before that, you know what I got to have?
What?
I got to have natural light coming in. Any space, before I cut any light on. And of course, if I'm going into the bathroom, I'm gonna cut the light on.
Yeah.
But if I'm actually going to sit down or something like that, the main room I'll be in, I don't cut on no light. I gotta open up the door. I gotta let the sunlight. I gotta have. That's one of the first things. I need that. I literally need.
We all
the
do,
sunlight
but people
to come
don't.
in.
People don't. You need sunlight.
Yeah.
You need to get outside. You need to ground
Yeah,
yourself.
I have to have
A lot of
that.
people are just sitting in the house in front of that TV, in front of the game, and you're just like, you're wondering, like, you're saying things like, man, I need $1 million. I need this job. I need, I want to be married. I want all this stuff, wishing for things, right?
Yeah.
But literally, you guys, everything that we have ever prayed for, everything that we have ever asked for is on the other side of you walking in your purpose. It's about using that gift that you have. That gift that you have could be the difference between you being a 9-to-5er or a millionaire. Everyone has a gift and talent, and a lot of people are scared to use it, but don't let fear drive you. Fear is the enemy, and that's what he wants you to do, is to be scared and not walk in that thing that you're supposed to. Your gifts and your talents, where your purpose lies, is where you do the best. That is the thing you do the best, that you can do every day. If you could work and not get paid, you would still do it. That is where your purpose lies. And if you start to run in that, you will find that all of a sudden the blessings that you wanted, the opportunities that you wanted, will then come start chasing you. And you won't have to do anything. You shouldn't have to chase anything out here when it comes to what you want to do. Like business-wise, when I started this now is my second show for They Call Me Love. The first show was all music based. So it was, I can find a rapper, I can find a singer or whatever, interview you, get your music on, boom, we got a whole show. Yeah. But in this show, it's me, right? And it's all about purpose. And I was scared as crap because God told me to start this, y'all. He said, I need you to do this show and you have to do it alone. And I looked at him like, excuse me, what are you talking about? I don't want to do that. But he said, no, you're going to do that. And I'm like, okay. Well, who am I going to interview? I start asking questions. Remember I said ask questions?
Yeah.
Well, who am I going to interview? Like, I can't just sit up here and talk on my own. And he was like, well, actually, yes, you can. I'm going to give you the words to say. And then people started emailing me asking to be on the show.
Oh, nice.
And it wasn't just the rappers, it was these are people who are influential, who have businesses and who are really truly walking in purpose. And right now we have coming up September 26th, shout out to the ZD Experience. We have a live show that is coming up, and we will be interviewing Miss Tanya, who is she's the CEO or the manager of the International Museum, African American Museum.
Okay, nice.
And so just that person alone to come towards,
right.
you know what I'm saying? That type of thing, people who are influential and things like that. So I just urge everyone to just start, just begin. I was also being like, I don't have the right mic. Oh, I don't have the right interface. I went to school for this. I know what I need. All you need is a mic and a studio, on a computer. You really don't need that much. I mean, of course, we want it to be great, right? So here we are in, Trident, and we want to get the good mics and the cameras, but in the beginning, you just have to begin, right? So just start.
Just start. Absolutely.
Find that thing that you've been itching to do. If you know you're a writer, pick up your pen. If you know you're a singer, just start singing. It's you just have to start somewhere. And I started, and it took off. And like I said, nominated for Best Radio Show of Charleston. I never in my life saw that. I never in my life saw that. And I didn't even find out about it. A friend of mine emailed me and was like, and sent me a screenshot of the nomination. I'm never on social media like that. I literally just kind of post and get off and do what my thing.
Right.
I'm looking at the thing. I had to read it 3 times because I'm like, what is this saying? Are you saying that I'm nominated for this? I'm up against 2 girls and a guy, and all of these people on Charleston radio who are like major and stuff like that. So I just urge everyone, please do what you don't want to do. Do it in fear. Even if you are scared, do it scared. Believe me, somebody will come and help you. Just ask.
Yeah.
Just ask.
Yeah.
And you're like, how do I ask? Say it out loud just like this. I need some help. I know I'm supposed to do this podcast, but I need some help. Yeah. But be specific in your questions and your asking, though. That's another thing that I tell people. We pray for things, but we're not specific in our prayers. We're like, oh, I need a new job. Yeah. Lord, please send me a new job. He gonna send you a new job. He gonna send you many opportunities for jobs, but it may not be that one that you want that's gonna pay you $50,000 a year or right? You need to say, Lord, I need a job that's gonna pay me $50,000, that's gonna allow me to buy a new home, that's gonna sustain me for however long. Be specific. Don't just say, I want a new car. Oh, he'll send you a new car. It's gonna be that red 4-door Hyundai that you didn't want.
Yeah.
Yeah. I totally agree, man. I totally agree. Man,
That's deep,
this
right?
is, yeah, it is. It's very deep. It's very deep. Being specific, and I don't know if I ever. I'm trying to think. Have I ever, was that specific? But what I want or whatever, you know what I mean. But far
Mm-hmm.
as operating in fear, I don't operate in fear. Actually, you know what I'm fearful of. I'll be
Okay, here we
honest.
go.
I'm fearful of never trying. Meaning, say, film, for example. I'm here. I want to do because I've heard other people talk. Like there's one particular student who graduated from here, and I remember we was doing an AV gig together. And matter of fact, he worked on I think the Little Mermaid. I think it was.
Okay.
You know what I'm
I
talking
know you're
about.
talking about.
So and he was. This is who he was trying to get Blood of the Land together and meet there. And we all were, and then we talking to other people, we networking and telling about the idea, and everybody's like, "Oh man, he said, man, that's pretty good what you guys did, man." Because when I was here, we didn't have nobody to come together. Then he started going into, I don't know, man, I want to do something, but I was like, man, what if they don't like it, this and that? And I was like, bro, at the end of the day, really, they're not gonna like it, because it's you. Then two, you gotta realize you don't have a millions of dollar budget. Even some productions with $1 million budget, some people don't like those either. You know what I'm saying? So my fear is not trying. I'm fearful of never trying it, and then because I'll be haunted by, man, what if you had did it? And even if it wasn't that good, someone may see it and it could help propel you even further. So I'm fearful of not trying. That's what I'm total fearful of. So I got to try it. And then if I fall, I'm not scared to fall, but I'm fearful of if I don't try because I will be haunted by, man, you old punk ass, you ain't did this or you ain't did.
Well, that's where
You shoulda
discernment
did it.
comes in.
You should have, yeah. So you should have
Because
tried it.
I wouldn't say try everything.
Well, no, I'm talking about the things I want to try.
Okay.
What I'm passionate about. I should
Okay,
say.
there you go,
what I'm
right? Because a
passionate
lot of
about.
people have a lot of lists or a long list of things.
Yeah.
Oh, I want to do this. I want to be a singer. I want to be
Yeah.
a rapper. I want to do it in the studio. I want to do this, right? That's great.
Mhm.
But you need to figure out which one is purposeful,
Right.
right? And just because you want to do it doesn't mean that that's purposeful. That doesn't mean, because let's just be real. How many singers, rappers do we have right now in the Charleston area or around that really the best rapper?
Well,
They're not the best rapper.
they're not the best.
But they still going hard at it. I can name somebody there's quite a few who's very popular.
Yeah.
And some of our popular people who can't sing not one lick, but is the most famous people ever in the world, right?
Yeah.
Well, that may have been their purpose. It
True.
may have been.
Yeah.
You have to find what it is. Just because you're good, right, doesn't mean that's it. You got to find the thing that's easy, that comes easy to you, and then you find that other things come easy with it. Like, okay, I'm going to do this podcast, and now all of a sudden it just shot off. Y'all are an example. Started this show, and all of a sudden I'm going to look on y'all little page. I said, excuse me, with y'all views. That means people is paying attention.
Yeah.
Which means you need to continue. And I'm not saying if you don't got no views, don't continue. It takes time.
Right.
Okay.
It definitely takes
But
time.
there's purpose in what you're doing. Obviously, you're reaching somebody who needs to hear something that you're talking about. So please continue to do what you do.
Yeah, yeah. And Luvie reached out a while ago and about, being on the
I said, let's
podcast.
connect.
How come you didn't tell
Yeah,
me?
This
she
was
did.
a long time ago.
It was a while ago when she found it. Like she said, I wasn't putting nothing out because I think Bless had mentioned.
Shout out to Bless.
First, I was like, how? I was like, how you know? She was like, yeah, Bless told me. She was like, dude, like you in my arena. Why are we not? So she said, you down? And I was like, yeah, cool. But then I don't know why it just. And I'm so it's down. I don't know why it just never clicked to me.
It's divine timing.
It did, yeah. It didn't click. And then we on social media, and like sometime she would send aspirational things, and I literally thought that was just her just being nice, because the Lovey I know to come and love in there is like me. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, and when I saw her platform, I was like, oh, I don't know this Lovey. I know.
I am jokey. Okay. For all of
I
y'all
know
who don't
nothing.
know, I am very jokey. I like to trip. I like to
Yes.
laugh. I'm going to cut up, and I'm not always lovey,
But this
you
is
know?
good. This is no to me. You was always lovely because you're a lovable. You're a nice person. You're a lovable person, right? But just without going into too much detail, the Lovey I know is the Lovey like, shoot, what's up, man? Y'all, let's go. Hey, let me know. We can hit up Vegas.
Let's go.
That's
And I'm
the
still that person.
yeah, yeah,
We
yeah.
can
You see
still go.
that's the Lovey I know. You know what I'm saying? The Lovey I know. We sip a little drinks, have a little
We can
drink,
still have a
have
drink.
a good time,
We
and
can
you know
still
what I'm
do
saying?
all of that.
You know, she's a. Well, see, I didn't know this. The dreamer. I didn't know the dreamer.
It's because I was scared.
Really,
People knew. People knew.
really.
For sure. People knew. But remember, if I was to come up to you and say, I'm a prophet, let me prophesy to you.
I get that.
Well, you would be like,
I get that.
let me go on somewhere.
Yeah.
If I would have said, come on, let me talk to you about your purpose.
Yeah.
You would have been like, what? But that exact thing that I thought how you would react, the what, is not what I get now.
Yeah. You know, I get why you said you would be. I totally get why you said you would be scared. But me knowing you and the type of person you are, I wouldn't think that you would be scared. But I understand what you mean by saying you were scared. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I totally get that. But me knowing you, the outgoing, bubbly person you is, the nice personality, and that's to say, I mean, to my knowledge, you've been cool with everybody, but definitely how you interact with the people in your circle and everything like that. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I wouldn't think that she would be scared, but I totally understand what you're saying.
I had no idea how people were going to react.
Yeah, I totally, yeah.
And I still get the side eye to this day.
Of course. And we all are conscious about how we will be perceived by others.
Yeah.
I think that's just a natural human defense mechanism. Because at the end of the day, you got to protect yourself first.
I had to protect me.
Yeah.
You know, and which is why my circle is a triangle. It's so small right now because you really, when you start to walk in your gift, you really start to, it talks discernment. You see things that you may not have seen before, you know, and you really have to watch who you're around, period. If you want to grow, everybody that's around you should be in growth mode.
Yeah.
If they're in stagnant mode, they got to go. And some people going to go and you may not want them to go. And it's going to be a hard situation. But until you let these people go, you will be stuck in that situation. And if they are not motivating you to be who you are, if they're not listening to you.
Yeah.
Right? Because if I'm giving you an advice and I say, you know, Josiah, I don't think you need to go to that party. Something just tell me don't go. And you look at me like, girl, please. Or, what are you talking about? I ain't listening to you. That's what I was scared of.
Gotcha.
Was that reaction.
Yeah.
But now I don't care. If I hear it, I'm gonna tell you. And and that was actually what a prophet is supposed to do. We're supposed to give the word and keep going. That's the thing. We're not supposed to sit and minister and do all of these things. And I'm not a preacher, by the way. I do not claim to be that ever. I just have a prophetic gift. And many people have a prophetic gift that are don't even acknowledge God.
Yeah.
A lot of people walk in it.
You were talking about growing and how you may need to leave some people behind. What if you're like in a relationship and maybe it's a serious relationship and, you know, you may have outgrown that person spiritually, you know, or just, you know, just in general, like, you know, your mindset, you know, how do you move on from that? I mean, what do you do? You know,
because you're stagnant, right?
Are you the person? Yeah. What do you think? Cut that person off?
They got to go.
Okay.
And it's as simple as that. Seasons and reasons. Everybody comes in our lives for seasons and reasons. It doesn't mean they're supposed to stay. They're supposed to be there to help you with something. Some people will be with you for a lifetime, but some people are not. And again, if you are attached to relationships, whether they are platonic, romantic, whatever, and they're not on the same wave as you, they will keep you where you are. and you will stay stuck. Because when you level up, they're going to be the ones that's going to give you that side eye. Oh, you're not the same.
Yeah,
we used to do this. And I don't know who this is. You think you all of that.
Right.
That's the number one sign. That's going to be your number one sign to say, oh, it is time for me to go. But it doesn't mean that you have to cut people off and y'all don't ever talk. It just means right now we're not in a space where we really need to be connected in a soul tie. When you are in a relationship and you have connected sexually, emotionally, spiritually, you create a soul tie. And soul ties can be good or they can be bad. You are supposed to be tied to the soul that is going to uplift you, that is going to bring you into your purpose, right? If you are stuck with someone that is still keeping you stagnant, that's where your purpose will be, stagnant, and you will sit in that. I honestly sat in a relationship for 10 years. Where I was not respected. I was not the person that I know that I'm supposed to be. And not until I got out of that relationship did I graduate from college. I started a podcast. All of these things started happening for me that I just was like, wow, I've been waiting for these things to happen. The energy that is attached to those people can attach to you. If they have trauma and have not fixed or address their trauma, that then attaches to you. You will find that if you hang with somebody and they're cursing all the time, a couple of months later, you'll notice that you dropping the F-bomb too. Now, all of a sudden, you know what I'm saying? And it goes the good way too. If you hang out with people who are working out all the time, all of a sudden you're like, man, shoot, let's go on. I'm going to come out with you and I'm going to go work out. Next thing you know, you slim and trim. So it's all about paying attention to what are they giving to you? What are they feeding you? If they cannot feed you, and this goes friends, anybody, if they can't teach you and pour into you, it's time to go.
Yeah. I agree.
And that's hard.
Yeah.
But you cannot down yourself. Don't make yourself feel bad. Because that's what I did. I was like, oh, I can't leave. We done been together for 10 years and da-da-da-da-da. We done built all of this and da-da-da-da-da. Meanwhile, we fighting, tearing crap up. You know what I'm saying? I'm losing jobs because he don't want to do this. I'm just, all of this stuff is happening, but I'm making excuses for people. Stop making excuses for people.
Yeah.
That's why I say it's okay to be selfish. Because if you're not doing me right, I don't want to stay around until now all of a sudden everything is wrong in my life.
Yeah.
Pay attention to who's around you.
You felt like weight lifted off your shoulder.
It was
once
ridiculous.
You left? So do you think, you said 10 years?
10 years.
10 years, right? And it wasn't feeding you or nothing. You wasn't really getting, you pretty much reached a certain plateau of that relationship, so you had to be done. Do you think women stay longer?
Yes.
Or men won't stay that long if it's not?
Both.
Both? Oh, okay.
You get comfortable in situations.
So some men stay when they should leave.
Yes.
And some women will stay when they should.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
You know when it's done.
So it's just not a gender thing. It's just a person thing. Gotcha.
Yeah. Well, for people, so I think whenever people are trying to, let's say, move on, it can be very scary.
Facts.
Or even if you're trying to do something new, because there's so much uncertainty. Now, you're saying that you got out of a relationship that was, that happened for 10 years. What was like the first step of like getting out of that? Was it like?
Truthfully, mine is because it was the last straw. I waited. I should have been gone. And I knew I should have been gone. And that's why I say, listen to, when the relationship is over. Everybody knows. When you're not happy, you're arguing, you're fighting, you looking at this person with a side eye, like, all this stuff, it's done, right?
I've been there.
And I waited until to the point to where I promise you God stepped in and said, no, you're going to take your behind out of here. And he snatched me out. And it was a very horrible ending. And so, people are like, God is a good God. He would never do anything to hurt me. No, he wouldn't. But you didn't listen. A lot of things that happen in our lives are because we don't listen. I told you to get out that relationship a long time ago. Well, I didn't listen. He wrecks a car. I love him. I'ma stay. 6 months later, he wrecks another car. I love him. We're together. 10 years, I don't want to give up. Now we're fighting. Fighting? This is Luvie. I'm too cute to fight. What are you talking about? Fighting. No, we don't do that. And it got there because I should have been gone. So everybody knows when you see them red flags, the red flags are there for a reason. That's God. He's literally saying, hey, I'm telling you that this is not good. But then you're like, no, but I love him. No, but we've been together for 10 years. Well, what do you have? What can you show? Can you show anything? Because a lot of times when you're in a relationship and you try to do things together and it doesn't work, that's because it's not supposed to. Like, oh, we're going to buy a house. All of a sudden you can't get approved.
I heard my aunt say that a while ago.
Yeah, it's like, oh, we're going to get a business.
To work.
One person can't get approved. Like, you know, it's something that always is just like something going on. You better pay attention.
Hey, we got to get a business. One person can't get approved. Tell me, my shit good? What wrong? Why your shit stank?
Why your stuff like that?
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Have you ever noticed that too?
Yeah.
I'm good.
Yeah,
but they got stuff
good.
going on?
Yeah.
Y'all, a lot of people too, we want to help people.
That's true. Yeah.
You got to help yourself. You cannot help anybody until you're good.
Yeah.
So if you stressing and anxiety and you worried about if somebody cheating on you and doing all of this, stop giving relationship advice. Get out the relationship and go handle your love on yourself. You need to love yourself. And that's what happened. You know, I was in that relationship not loving myself.
And your name Luvie.
And my name is Love.
What is wrong with you?
The crazy thing about it is I got that name in that relationship.
Really? Oh, wow.
And didn't start walking in it until I left. Another prophetic moment. He's telling me I am love. He's telling me.
Yeah.
But I don't feel it.
But
I'm not loving myself.
Love you the way you need to be loved. Gotcha.
He can't love me.
Yeah. Because maybe he might not.
He don't love himself.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. That's some seriousness, man. Like I use the analogy when you on a plane. And when the air mass drop, if they lose altitude and
You're
pressure,
supposed to put it on yourself.
Yourself first. Before, remember how we talking about the same analogy with America, sending all the money out to everybody else? We got to help ourselves first. So the same analogy in the plane, they want you to give yourself oxygen first. If you can't breathe and you hyperventilate, then how are you going to help somebody else?
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Just like if a person drowns and they can't swim, they say the first thing you do is calm them down because they're going to pull you under because you know what I'm saying? And they're going to cause you. First thing you got to do is calm them down. Or even if a person can't swim, it's hard to do. First thing you should do is calm down. Calm down. If you know the basics, you will come back up to the top. But if you're struggling, you're going to cause yourself to sink even further into the abyss. So it's a hard thing for us to do is to calm down.
It's a hard thing to calm down. It's a hard thing to walk away. No one's saying that this is going to be easy. It's going. You've created soul ties. You know, you have created legacy or memories with people, and you know those don't go away. But at the end of the day, we want to grow. We want to be our best self, and at some point, you just have to sit back. Like you said, calm down and just look at the situation. Is this working for me?
Right.
How long I've been doing this? Man, 3 years done went by? We were supposed to do this in year 1. Well, we need to have a conversation, right? We need to go back to the drawing board and figure out, well, were you here just to teach me something? Or are you here really to be in my life for the long haul? Everybody we come in contact with is supposed to teach us something. Even if it's somebody who is mean. Everybody in your life who you come in contact with, there was a reason. You got to go back and look at it. You probably don't think about it every day, but if you go back and think like, why was I with that dude? Why was I in that relationship? Well,
or even friends with that person.
Or even friends. Maybe they just taught you to dress better.
Right. That's
Seriously,
true.
It could be just as small as that. They taught you to go get that haircut. You know, for the fellas, go, now I can get some cologne because I remember she said she likes when I get cologne. That could have just been that one thing.
Yeah.
Sometimes we take relationships way further than where they're supposed to go.
Yeah. So you feel like everyone you come in contact with, and I get some people you may only say you did a job. We only been you can learn something in a day from somebody.
You can.
It doesn't really matter. Even if you've been with them for an hour or two, you feel you learn something from everybody that you come in contact with.
Every single person.
You
should.
Yeah.
There's something that even if it's just patience, if it's going to work on time.
Yeah.
Man, that girl get on my last nerve, but that girl get that bonus check every day. I wonder what she doing to get that bonus check. Then you go figure it out, right? Now all of a sudden you getting a bonus check, right? But you're not friends with them. And they're not about to go with you nowhere else, but you peep something from them, right?
That's true. That is true.
And then you keep it moving.
That is so true. That is facts. That is fact. Now, he's a little bit younger than us. Of course, you're not as old as I am. But even though, you know, she looks very good for her age. So,
Thank you.
But you're older. Now, I realized as I got older, my circle got smaller. Does that happen to you as well?
It's a triangle.
Yeah, I really like that saying. You saying it's a triangle, not a circle.
Yeah.
That's
Well, I just say my circle. I never used the triangle analogy.
I think a lot of people say that, but I've never really heard.
I never
the
heard that
triangle.
either.
I just could, because, you know, in a circle, everybody get in a circle, right? The circle can be big. Remember back in the day when we was kids and we used to hold hands?
Yeah.
And then we hold hands. Next thing you know, it's like 20 people and we all hold hands.
And
That's still a
with,
circle.
You friends with everybody.
We friends with everybody,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
But friends is a very big word for me.
Very big.
Friends means to me, I can tell you my innermost secret and you're not going to judge me or tell anybody.
Right.
Friends is, I'm on the side of the road at 2 a.m. Can you come pick me up off of the side of the road? How many people can you really say I can call at 2 a.m. and they're going to get out of their bed and come get you?
I don't even know if I can call my mom, only because she don't answer her phone. But I know she'd come get me. But
go down your list of friends and ask yourself that. Who on this list can I really call and they're going to come get me? Or I'm in a bind and I really need $200.
Yeah.
That's a bunch of money right now for people.
That's true.
But if I know you my friend, I know you wouldn't even much come out of your mouth and ask me unless you really needed it. And I know I'm going to get it back.
Right.
You know, that type of thing.
And in this social media era, even beyond that, if I call, I'm on, like you said, on the side of the road to them, who gonna pick up the phone? Some people ain't even gonna
We're going to
answer.
sit up and look at it.
Yeah, some people, I challenge everybody out there in YouTube land, go through your contacts. If you stranded at 2 a.m. on the side of the road,
Who can you call?
You might say, okay, I know this person will look out, but some people not saying they won't look out, but some people might not even answer the phone. I get it, they may be sleeping, but some people might be doing something and put the phone down.
Put it down.
You know, not saying they won't look out for you. Hey man, I ain't got no, they might buy your lunch or something. But you know, that's a serious question. That's a serious question.
And that's why it's a triangle.
Yeah.
Because I need you to know, I need to trust that I can tell you I had this dream last night and you don't think I'm tripping. You know? Like, can I talk to you about, I think God just put this on my heart. Can I talk to you about this? How many people can you really say that to? If you can't talk to your friend like that, that's not your friend.
Yeah.
That's why I say, check that list and stop using the word friend so loosely.
Yeah.
Because
especially when you get older, you should know. I think your discernment should be.
It increases, but do we listen to it?
That's true. I think kids, to be honest with you, kids listen to it better than sometimes adults.
They are still closer to God right now. They're innocent as well. They are seers and dreamers.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, if you have your son or daughter tell you anything that they ever had a dream or that they're seeing something, you better believe it. Yeah. Don't sit up there and they'll be, oh, you just imagination. No. Because I promise you, somebody, they couldn't understand why I was having nightmares. I was 5. And I had these nightmares. And my grandfather, he prayed for me every night. We would go, he taught me about the word and everything like that. But he couldn't understand what's wrong with the dreams. Turns out that my mother was ill. She needed her tonsils out. I was 6. I don't know nothing about that. You know, I don't know about all I hear is surgery. I'm terrified. But I started having the dreams weeks before. So it turns out I was just seeing that something was coming, that she was going to be ill. But I didn't know to say, hey, you know, I'm having these dreams and mom's going to be sick, so we need to do something. I just know I'm having a nightmare about mom being sick, you know, and things like that. So I always tell people, listen to your kids, you know, it's for real. This thing is real.
You know, I want to ask you one other thing. This happened to me. You ever heard of the term grieving? They ever heard the term they say your spirit is grieving?
That happens for sure.
Yeah. Has that ever happened to you?
What does that mean? Your spirit's grieving?
It's almost as like you're sad, but it's your inside.
Is sad.
You look normal. Your inside like it's crying, like it's real sad. But you don't. You like, man, why am I feeling like this? But you good. But it's your inside is very sad.
Yeah.
Does that happen to you?
Yeah.
So it happened to me twice. I can remember, right? One time I knew what it was, but I don't know why it happened, right? One time I was in the military, and I felt that way. I was off that day. I was going. I don't know if maybe something might have happened back home. Maybe I don't know. Maybe I might need to dive further than that. Then it was another time after I got out the military. I was working at Citadel Mall, night security. I was going to college in the day, Trident Tech, by the way, for business this time. I was taking morning class of business, and then I was working, doing security at night after I got out the service, right? And I took a nap before I had to go to work, and I woke up, and that's how I felt. Like they say, your soul grief. And I was like, man, I was like, man, I don't know. I said, maybe I'm just coming down with something, whatever. I didn't know what it was.
Warning.
So I ate, right? So I get to work, and I'm in the office, still talking to everybody, they finished this shift. I'm taking over. Boom, I'm good. I'm still feeling like that. So then I finally get into, the security blazer. You got to ride around the perimeter, right?
Yes.
I was the first Otis. Otis of Martin?
I cannot.
Security.
Yes. Top flight security?
There's a laugh at me, call me Otis, because I had no gun. I ain't even had a whistle.
Lord,
not even mace. But anyway, so I know, right? What can I protect?
What kind of protect?
Call CPD, Charleston Police Department.
I cannot.
I was a true snitch.
Oh my God.
But anyway, so I'm riding in the van, right? So I still feel this grievance, right? So I'm riding, so I cut the radio on, I'm riding around, Z93 on, right? I'm riding around, and they talking, and then I'm riding, and all of a sudden the guy says, yeah, for those, they just talking about something. I said, what are you talking about? For those who haven't heard, Aaliyah's plane just crashed, and it went down, and then when I heard that, it went away. Just like, it just stopped. And I was like, I don't know this girl.
You're supposed to pray.
Yeah.
And even you just pray. Like when you get that weird feeling in your stomach, nervousness, shaking in your boots, it don't matter. Lord, something's not right. I feel something ain't right. Father, I come against anything that is not of you. Allow me to understand what I need to see and what I need to pray for.
Yeah. And see, I wasn't, like I said, that was the second time it ever happened. And I didn't know. But as soon as I heard that on the radio, it just instantly, it went away. It was gone right after. As soon as I heard that. And I was like, man, wow, it was sad, very sad, very tragic. But I just didn't know why, because I was like, I knew who she was, but I didn't know her personally like that,
Think of how many other people may have gotten that same inkling in their spirit, right? And if we all would have received it and came against it, I'm going to say this, you may have stopped her death. That's the power of prayer. And it also is the power of the prophetic. He's showing you something's wrong. Come against it. Come against it. So if you ever heard where 2 or 1 are gathered?
Yeah.
Well, what if it was 4,000 of us that felt that and went into prayer? You never know.
Yeah, you never know.
We could have stopped that plane. That's how powerful you are as a being, that you can stop things. But people don't believe. So if you don't believe you can stop it, you can't.
Right.
So,
and it's like you said, somebody may think you weird if they gotta. You have to be open to that level of spirituality. You know what I'm saying? You like they always say you pretty much gotta be. You live in the flesh, but your mental gotta be out of that flesh realm. You gotta be really. And sometimes it hits certain people, and they don't know, because like they say, we all spiritual beings, right? And sometimes we don't know that certain things are coming for us to tap into. But I guess it's like what you had said earlier. Actually, both of you guys said earlier, with so much distractions. Like I wanted to ask. Sometimes I feel like you might have to go off the grid.
You do.
Do you ever do that? Do you guys ever
I just
do that?
did that.
Go off the grid?
For the month of July, I was on punishment. That's what I
Yeah.
call it. I just put myself on punishment. And when I say punishment, I just stopped going out. Stop spending money so much out in the street. Just stay home for a little bit. You know, what they call me love, it has me busy. There's a lot of things happening in the streets, like all of these networking events and, you know, things like that. You know, when you get in the media, you need to be there. If you really want your stuff to succeed and you want to get in the right places, you start to go to these things. But it gets overwhelming. Okay. Like you could literally be out every day if you really wanted to, down here.
So much going on.
I was like, I gotta be still for a second. And for the month of July, I just sat in the house. And it got to the point now, I'm outside now because I'm like, oh my gosh. I was like, Lord, I need to see outside. Like, Lord, where the people at?
I saw your post, Leo's outside.
The Leos are outside. Shout out to it. No, I am a true Taurus.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
You like my son.
I am a true Taurus.
When's your birthday?
May 12th. Shout out to my May babies. Yes,
May
we knew this.
13th.
I did know this.
Yeah, May 13th. Yeah.
Yeah. So he is also prophetic. So please love on your baby.
You know, my son used to, when he was small, he used to go to church a lot with his mom and stuff like that. And he used to sit up there and preach.
Yeah, I was going to say he's prophetic.
He did that one time. I was like...
He still has it now. That's why I said you need to go holler at him.
Yeah, but I mean, he just a little knucklehead. And he ain't even tell me happy birthday. So, you know, he's 16, you know, with his friends influencing basketball and stuff
Ask him what his last dream was.
I'll ask him.
That just get the conversation started.
Yep.
Yeah, I'll definitely ask him.
For sure.
Yeah, man.
This is deep.
Yeah, this is very deep, very deep. Any last, I think you got him scared.
No.
Am I scared? Am I scared? You know,
No.
Let's talk about it.
I actually love, I love talking about stuff like this because, you know, I've actually, the last few years, just because a lot of life has been happening, I've been having a lot of weird dreams.
Okay.
And so, yeah, I mean, talking about this stuff, you know, whenever I get into, you know, some of the, you know, because I lost my father a few years ago.
Sorry to hear that.
And also one of my sisters more recently. And one of the dreams I've been having is, for whatever reason, you know, when I was younger, we used to travel from California all the way out here. And, you know, I always remember us always packing up and getting ready to go. And I've been having this dream where I see my dad and we're all packing up and we're getting ready to go somewhere. And I never know where we're going. And for whatever reason, like the dream like stops right before we start to go wherever we're going. And so, like, you know, talking about these kind of things, you know, it's interesting for me because I've always been a person who always believed in dreams. And even though, like, you know, I feel like there's a lot of people who feel like dreams don't mean anything, you know?
That's true.
Yeah,
And so it's kind of hard to sort of talk about them and with someone, you know what I mean? And to actually have a genuine conversation about like dreams without somebody being like, you know, all right, who cares? You know, so
You have to be on a spiritual level, not 24/7, but you know what I mean?
yeah,
They have to know something of that realm, or at least have been touched by that realm, versus a person, say like an atheist, right? Or they believe everything is just surface flesh. You die, that's it. Your body go back to the earth, and there's nothing else. You know what I mean? And to each his own. If that's what they believe, that's what they believe.
some people believe in like the universe.
Yeah,
and
some
just
people do.
you know the spirits of I don't know what all that means.
Energy.
Yeah, I'm a little touchy when it comes to that,
Yeah.
right? Because, you know, they're like, oh, pray to the universe. No, you need to pray to God. God is the universe. He created the universe. So you don't want to pray to something that God created. You know what I'm saying? If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Not saying don't acknowledge the universe, because I mean it's a vast thing and it is beautiful, right? And God does speak to us in many ways, including through the stars and everything like that, right? It's actually in the Word, and people always want to fight me with it. Y'all remember when they were trying to find Jesus, right? What did they look up? When Jesus was born, right, in the manger, what did the wise men follow?
Yeah, the star.
The star.
The star,
Yeah,
right?
the
So
shine over-
looking up, right, to the stars. So there's things in the heavens that we can look to, but we need to be looking to the Most High. That's who we need to look for, because the universe is not the one that's blessing us.
Yeah.
It's God that's blessing us.
Yeah.
Just remember, God is bigger than the universe. So it gets deeper than that.
Even when I'm in nature, I see Yahweh in everything.
He is in everything.
I look at everything and I be like, man, that's Yah right there. I just see him in all things. You know what I mean? And all just like, you ever like look at something in nature and wonder, like, man, this is miraculous. How is this
How in
even?
the world? Yes.
How this? I just see Yahweh in everything.
That's how I can say, how
Yah.
can you not say there's a God?
Yeah, I just see
like,
Yah in
for real.
everything.
There's
in
no
everything,
way. Like, we can't create these things. We're trying.
exactly.
That's we're trying to replicate and duplicate all of these things. But notice we're failing.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say.
And causing havoc as we do it as well.
And even that will fail. But I mean, it also it speaks of that as knowledge increase, man moves further and further. As they talk about evolution. Evolution is always ongoing because man constantly evolving, right? The people who come after us, they're going to run faster, be stronger. You know what I'm saying? They're going to be more intelligent. And granted, we want people to evolve, right? But as knowledge increase, they running further and further and further away from, most things of most high.
Because they want to be creators themselves.
Exactly.
Exactly. But we are. We
already, exactly.
Yeah.
And that should suffice.
Well, and
we create. Right. That should suffice.
We're made in the image of God. But yeah.
Exactly.
I always have, I've always stuck to this saying, just, everything has a creator. Everything has a creator. So why wouldn't you think that, us humans
have a creator.
Walking around,
right?
The way that like my body is connected, I have tons of bones, and how all of them work together, my mind, my brain, all that stuff.
Neurons.
Like it's such a like special thing. Like, how do you not say that was a creator? That there was a creator behind that. How do you not look around and, acknowledge that there was a creator of this whole like thing, like
of
us,
everything.
What we do.
We just
walked, the shirts.
All of a sudden, we're just here, and
it's
like really?
The Big Bang.
The shirt that we're wearing, the clothes that we're wearing, the shoes that we're wearing. All that stuff had a creator. So why isn't the universe the same way? So
like she said, as us being creators through birth, I think that's very miraculous how she can carry a child like that.
I was gonna say
that's miraculous in itself. That's
exactly.
So I don't understand. These are things I guess because we so used to seeing it, but it's still a very miraculous thing because she could die during childbirth. That is a very miraculous thing in itself. I think man itself is something to be marvelous.
Being.
Yeah, very, very. With energy, and they don't. Everything in this ecosystem works for the other. You need all these. I don't know why we need roaches and rats. I mean, I still can't figure that out. But everything in this ecosystem. If the trees gone, we will die. Right? If we're gone, the trees will die because they don't have no carbon monoxide. Right? Then you have photosynthesis with the rain and the mist, and that purifies the air. So that's pretty much how we get the clouds for the ecosystem. It all comes
together.
Exactly, to block out the UV rays and whatnot, right? So you need that, right? With us, we're melanated people, right? So with Caucasians, they can't take it because it gives them cancer. So in reality, we are people of the sun because we are the original people, and everything comes from black. If you take every crayon out the box and put every color, it turns to black. So that goes to show you, right? So everything in the ecosystem works for the greater good of the next, and so on and so on and so on, But yeah, I like I said, I see Yahweh in everything, man. I think it's all miraculous and beautiful. Something that we can't create ourselves, and we shouldn't be able to create that. You know what I mean?
We can create a lot of things.
Yeah. Artificial things.
Remember, we are spirits.
We are, yeah.
And we also are made in the image of God. And they also say we are little gods, little g. If we are made in the image of God, let's be real here. If we are made in His image, we can do what He can do. Now, I know that sounds a little stretch, but you ever heard you have what you say?
Speak it into fruition.
Yes.
Believe
Isn't that what God did?
Yeah.
He said, let there be light, right? And then what happened? There was light. Well, we can say, let me be a millionaire.
Because the words are powerful. Yeah.
Let me do this, right? Words are spells.
Yeah.
Spelling words.
Right.
What we say can be. We can speak life or death over ourselves.
Yeah.
We are just as powerful, but we lack the knowledge. Okay? They say we perish because of lack of knowledge.
Yeah.
We have to do the research. You are a dreamer. But if you don't do the research to try to figure out, well, why I can't remember my dreams? Or what do I need to do to figure out what these symbols mean? Well, are you a dreamer then? You know? So I am a dreamer. So I'm going to go look and see what I need to do to figure this dream out.
Yeah.
I am a producer. So I need to go look and see what is the best, you know what I'm saying? Same thing. Videography. If you want to go and do the research to know what is the best cameras and everything. So why won't we do that for ourselves when it comes to our relationship with God and the gifts that we have?
Yeah. Yeah.
Gotta take it a little bit further. And unfortunately, it does take you from a circle to a triangle when you're doing that, because you have to sit with God for a second. You got to be quiet. You got to be able to hear. And you have to be obedient. That's the other thing. That's the other thing we don't like to do. When you hear turn left and you went right and then you mad because now you're in the traffic, well, he told you to go left. He told you to leave that relationship 5 years ago. He told you to leave that job 5 years ago. You want a raise. It's not there, but it's over here. But you won't go look and apply. It's us that holds us back.
Yeah.
Fear holds us back. Do it in fear. Fear is nothing but the enemy. That's literally what he wants, for us to get scared and don't do what he knows that we can do.
Yeah.
He knows how powerful we are. The enemy knows our power. I heard someone say he has a Rolodex of all of the things that bother us. And at any given time, he's going to be like, all right, let me just go pull this today. Oh, well, Josiah don't like I'm sitting in traffic. All right, I got him today. He's not going to listen when you say left, go left anyway. So I'm going to make this traffic go over here, and he's going to be in traffic for an hour. Like, it all go together, but we don't want to look at it that it's that deep. It's not that serious. How many people say it's not that serious?
Yeah, yeah.
It is that serious.
It is that serious. I'm a firm believer of power, life and death lies in the tongue. That's why I usually, and like you say, you learn things from people. I remember there was a guy, we used to say bye. All right, man, see you later, bye. I remember this one particular guy, now that you said it came to memory now. And I thought about it a while ago, but now it came in. We used to work out in the gym. We was all in the Army. When we would part ways, he would say, all right, man, all right, guys, take care.
Yeah.
He would say, take care, take care.
I say, see you later.
Yeah. So I start telling people, all right, notice a lot of times I tell people, all right, man, be safe. I always say be safe, or, all right, take care, you know what I'm saying? Or something like that, And like we mentioned before, and Bless is good at it too, He would say, that's one thing I like about him. He's the only brother I really know that would say,
Peace King.
Yeah, peace, yeah, or, Theron does that too. He'd say things like, before, my mother did that all the time when I was young. Before they would do anything, they always say, well, God willing. All the time, God willing, right? So like Muslims would say, inshallah. Inshallah, you know what I'm saying? I mean, if it be his will, you know what I mean? So she would always say, of course, Hebrew, Yahweh's, if his will be done, you know what I mean? My mother would always say everything before God willing. I know it's Bless used to do it. He does that a lot too. With God willing, you know what I mean? My mama, and I would say, well, I'm going to do that, I'm going to do this. He said, wherever it's God's will, you do it.
Because we want God's will. That goes back to the beginning where we were talking about we want to do what God wants for us. He will give us the desires of our heart, right? So if he gives us the desires of our heart, everything he says is going to point us in the right direction. Right. He is not going to steer you wrong. It's us, right? We want to do what we want to do all the time. I don't want to do that. I don't feel like all of that. I don't want to go there. I don't want to talk to that person. Well, guess what? You'll be sitting there waiting for your blessing. Waiting for you to get that job, waiting, because literally your job could be waiting for you to talk to that lady at the gas station that you see every day and tell her that she looks nice today.
Yeah.
But you don't say it because you don't feel like dealing with people. But yet, turns out that lady who works at the gas station, husband, owns the business that you want to work at. But you didn't want to say anything. Like, it's little things, like that. Yeah. Also, stop looking at people and judging. You don't know. You don't know what they've been through. You don't know what they have. There's this thing on the internet where this guy walks around. He looks like a bum all the time. He's a millionaire. And all he does is go around helping people. And they look at him like, why are you helping me? Not knowing that man got billions in the bank. But they look at him with a side eye. Oh, I don't want to help him. Oh, I don't want to take nothing from him. Missing your blessing. Yeah. Because you're assuming you know who this person is or how they are because of their appearance. Don't judge a book by its cover. Also, you were like, I don't know this Lauren, or, I don't know who this is. Y'all know that Jesus hung with the prostitutes?
Yeah. You know what's funny? I was thinking about that when
taxpayers.
Yeah.
He's in the street. Did you also notice that you didn't really see him? He wasn't in no church. He was leaving the synagogue or something. He was trying to go in the street.
Because of the Pharisees.
So, stop judging people. Oh, she don't go to church. Oh, she don't da-da-da-da-da.
Yeah.
It's called a personal relationship with God.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
No, the church is your foundation now. I'm not telling you don't go to church now. Okay, because that is your foundation. But
right. I totally get what you're saying. Good. You don't know their relationship with the Most High.
You don't know.
That's between them and the Most High. I totally get that.
Absolutely.
I totally get that, man. Like I think as a man thinking, so is he.
That's true as well.
So we got to
have what you say too.
We got to not only other people. We got to speak it to ourselves too. If you want to be a businessman, you need to.
I am a businessman.
I'm a businessman. I will have this. I'll have that.
I'm a business owner. Who are you? Exactly. Hey, my name's Lauren. I'm a business owner, and I'm also I'm a doctor.
Exactly.
I'm this. Yeah. You speak what you are.
You speak what you
they
are.
Don't know.
Yep.
People are like, I don't want to lie. That's not a lie.
It's not, no.
You're speaking what God already put in you.
Exactly.
You are a doctor. He already told you that.
Yeah.
You just may not have that degree yet, but you are. You are a speaker. I am a life coach or whatever it is. You need to start introducing yourself to these things and start doing the research to figure out, well, how do I become those things? Because if you know you are, well, let's be.
Exactly.
Right? Exactly. It's okay to say I am that.
Yep.
I'm a businesswoman.
Exactly. It's okay. And then I think as you say those affirmations, as you say these things, then the Most High or the universe, whichever you want to call it, I think then all of a sudden you will start seeing these people. You're like, man, how am I now? And when you turn around and look back months later, you sitting with business people, doctors and stuff like that. Now you in that circle like that, Yeah.
Don't be afraid to find a circle too. It's okay to find new friends.
Yeah.
For your new season.
Right. Yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right. Absolutely.
All right. Well, it's been great having you. Thanks for coming on. Yeah. For the people who want to get in touch with you or follow you and stuff like that, just let us know.
Follow me. All my social medias, you can go to theycallmeluv.com. That's my website. It's They Call Me Love. You'll find all my socials. Everything is hashtag They Call Me LUV. You can send me an email, info@theycallmelove.com. Again, everything is LUV. I have dream interpretation sessions open right now, spiritual life coaching sessions as well to help you with that spiritual life, that coaching to get you into your purpose, help you with your dreams as well. And I have also opened up the books for guests on my show, They Call Me Love. You can find it at WOHM 96.3 FM. You can tune your dial, or you can also log on to ohmradio963.org on Sundays at 5, Thursdays at 9 to check out the show. And I look forward to everyone sending me a message. I would love to help you walk into your purpose. Just a message to everyone out here that you are loved, you are graced to do this, you are peace, and you have to walk in that. Say those things over yourself every day. Speak an affirmation over yourself. If you don't believe it, no one else will. And so I just speak a blessing over everyone today that is listening to this podcast. And y'all get at me.
That's very profound.
All right.
If you don't believe it, no one else will.
Exactly.
Take that with you, right? And
this is the Black Summit. I'm Brooks.
And I'm Hendrix. And we have
Luvie.
And thank you guys for joining us. Peace.
Peace.